Hello? Hello? Who's here? Hi. Me came from your nightmares, Mojinko. Hee. Me running this show now. Me did away with that other guy, so me in charge. Hee. Me do show forever, Mojinko. What is this? What is this? What am I looking at? Yes, this is me, baby Jacob. Hello, VeggieTales collector. Oh, Calloway's a savage. He a savage boy. Watch out, Junior boy. He's savage. Me looking at you with my big eye. So I'll back up. Mojiko.
Okay, that's enough of that. So I don't really have any like actual, reason for doing a live stream tonight. I just feel like going live, so we're just gonna have fun with this. It can be Callaway. It can be Q&A. I don't care. We can just chat about VeggieTales, ask questions, whatever. Maybe even just work on some animation, get some podcast worked on. Just go live. So while I'm working, you all can talk to me. How many times have I watched Baby Jacob? Probably never. Probably should, but I don't think I have. One thing I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to record part of my podcast. So if you all follow my podcast, I do a review in every episode. So I'm going to go ahead and record that review live right now, even though that podcast won't premiere till later. So if you're on my premiere, you'll get a sneak peek to something coming up. Yes, like once when he was still a towel. Yeah. Yeah, he does look a little stanky. Yes. No, he's a wonderful guy. All right. Anyway, one thing we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to record the review for Lego My Ego, which is going to be John Bostic. I see you're on here. We did our collab with the Sweet Pea Beauty debate, and after that collab, we have a the wait, John, ignore him. He's a lunatic. He is a savage lunatic. Yeah, we've got the Lego My Ego review after the episode. So, like I said, record that live. Maybe do a reaction to a podcast episode. Yeah, I know I'm wearing your hat. Hey, animator, how's it going? I'm gonna pull up Spotify and I'll listen to one. I'll tell you what, the podcast has maybe 12, 13 episodes now. The VeggieTales podcast. Whoever's the first to comment an episode, that's the one I'll react to. Whichever one you guys think is the worst, I'll react to. What's that, Angel Cat? Callaway, I've been on here for a long time. Is this lagging? Are you guys just seeing me on here? In fact, you know what? I'm going to check that on my phone. Make sure this isn't lagging. Why do I always do these so late? Forgiveness? Okay, it'll be forgiveness. That's the one I'll do. Yeah, I know. That one was annoying, wasn't it? Check this out. We got double live stream going. Check this out. We got double live stream going. Yep, I'm not lagging that bad. Check this out. We got double live stream going. Callaway is a savage lunatic. John Bostic. Callaway is a savage lunatic. He's my brother. You all, oh no, he's becoming a recognized name here. You all are using it by name. He's he who shall not be named. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. Look at that. 2017. Good stuff. Alrighty. Let me pull up Camtasia. We'll get the Lego My Ego review fired up. Like I said, this review isn't supposed to premiere until, gosh, I don't even know. Next Saturday? No, 2 Saturdays from now. Yeah, 2 Saturdays from now. Yeah, I know siblings are nuts. Yeah, this Tuesday we've got the solo episode coming out. Friday we've got a group discussion coming out. Turn off screen record. Friday we've got a group discussion. Saturday we've got which one was that? I think that was Inspiration Animations. They came on, so that would be Saturday. Variety Central. And people aren't going to know this unless you're listening to this. Anime Hater 2000. All right. Yeah, people aren't going to know any of this stuff unless they're here on the live stream. I guess they're yeah, we don't talk about them. That's right. We don't talk about Callaway. No. Yeah, but then the Variety Central is coming up on Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but Tuesday after that. And then, it's the John Bostic episode. Yeah, so the one with the Lego My Ego review would be next Friday. Yeah, so 2 Fridays from now is when this would be premiering, but I'm going to go ahead and record the review live here and then put it in the episode. So what do you all want first? Do you want the podcast reaction or do you want the Lego My Ego review? And like I said, just recording that as part of the podcast. So you all get a little sneak peek of what I do. Oh, I know. I'm waiting for Tuesday too, just to see how bad it will be. Those podcast episodes, I'm telling you what. And I hate to say it too, because I love VeggieTales so much, and I don't want to hate anything they've done. But this isn't really VeggieTales. When you fire the original creators and have a recasted crew, it's not really VeggieTales. So I don't feel too bad about it. Like I give the Netflix series its due credit. I give all the classic episodes their due credit. But you fire Phil and Mike and just give them some fake names, it's no good. It's no good. I don't even know if I'd count that as canon. I mean, I guess you have to, but I think the fan art's more canon than what we're actually getting nowadays. Yeah, weird stuff. Here, in fact, I'll actually play something here. So for those of you who didn't catch it, I feel like most people watching probably already caught this. There was a terrible editing error in this VeggieTales podcast. Like, if they don't even sit down and listen to these, I don't know why they publish them. But tell me if you all can hear this.
These pot holders are giving away.
Junior, if you give them away, you won't make any money.
Hi, Eddie from El Paso. It's me, Larry the Cucumber. To me? No.
So if y'all didn't catch that, some people surprisingly commented and were like, I don't see the error. Whatever. Larry was literally having a conversation from later on in the podcast over top of that segment. So they're basically just like over, how like a cartoon's recorded voice line by voice line by voice line, and then they splice them all together and match up. They mix the voice lines up, and they had a voice line from later on in the show playing over top of a different strand of voice lines. So it's just messed up stuff. Lego My Ego review first. Okay, sure. Yes, Angel K, I did see your announcement. That's awesome. Looking forward to that. That's pretty cool. Birthday specials are always fun. If I had ideas for VeggieTales episodes, I always thought about doing like a Bat Bob thing, but I think that's already getting worked on by the Mr. Neba Veggie Fan Tape Box. I think they're doing something with that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, but Lego My Ego, we'll go with that first. Okay. So I'm opening Camtasia. I'm not sure if I can use the microphone for this and Camtasia at the same time. I hadn't even thought about that. Here, can you guys still hear me? If you can still hear me while I'm using the Camtasia microphone, comment right now. Let me know. Yeah, I know, Animator, I don't get it either. It's messed up. Comment if you can still hear me with Camtasia running. No one's commenting, which makes me wonder. Yep, okay, good. We're good. All right, here's the Lego My Ego review. Recorded live. Obviously, I'll edit it later on Camtasia, but... So, next up in line in our chronological reviews is Lego My Ego, which is the second episode of Larry Boy The Cartoon Adventures. So this came after Angry Eyebrows, before Yoldo Napper, before Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So basically the plot, if you don't know it, which you probably do if you're hearing this podcast, like I always say, I don't like to give spoilers, but these are old episodes. Larry Boy basically just starts thinking he's better than everyone. The villain uses that to their advantage, shrinks everyone in the town from Larry Boy's ego, and then gets like an alter ego of Larry Boy to beat Larry Boy. In the end, Larry Boy learns his lesson and everything goes back to normal. Kind of an average Larry Boy episode where Larry Boy or some character, Junior or someone, does something wrong. And the villain uses the thing that the character is doing wrong to their advantage to grow the sin that they're trying to grow, be it a lie, be it temptation, rumor, in this case, ego, beforehand, anger. So it's kind of an average Larry Boy plot. The animation's great. It's the two-dimensional style, which is kind of cool. And that's the style I animate in, so I'm definitely partial to two-dimensional. Unless we're talking about Hoo Hoo, because, Hoo Hoo's always great. So the animation style is fun. Don't think there are any animation errors. Music, there's virtually no music except for like background music. But I'll give them a break for that because the Cartoon Adventures, they just had like the theme song and that was about it. And the theme song was so good to that series, it really made up for the entire episode. Story's good. The plot in general follows. It's easy to follow and it kind of moves along pretty fast. Alchemist is a good villain, kind of annoying but good villain. Same with Mother Pearl. They both feel like they would not have worked in the actual VeggieTales series, or that's just me maybe, but they don't feel like actual VeggieTales villains. Like they don't really fit in with the Bad Apple or the Rumor Weed or the Fib or whatever. They just don't. He doesn't really fit in that category, but he's still a good villain and it's kind of cool. So yeah, the villain's good. You got the villain's mom sidekicked with him, which is kind of funny, kind of ironic. The super short in the end, I think, was Cuke of All Trades, which is when it's Larry Boy's birthday. And he's running back and forth trying to get stuff done. John Bostic, I'd love to see VeggieTales super short illustrations. Those would be pretty cool. All in all, for a normal VeggieTales episode, it's not as good as the other Larry Boys. Like, I think the 3D Larry Boys are generally better. But this is still pretty fun. Feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, like Christian Nutrition said, for what they were trying to do. It was pretty great. So I think for a Larry Boy cartoon, it's a 10 out of 10. For a normal VeggieTales episode, maybe I don't know. Compared to other Larry Boy, I'd probably give it a 7 or 8. Just compared to VeggieTales in general, 7 or 8. Compared to Larry Boy cartoons, it's a 10 because the Larry Boy cartoons are just good in general. There we go. That's the review. And I'll edit that down later. It's 8:10. Yeah, for me, it's 9:12 right now. Yeah, so that's the review for the podcast. That podcast won't be premiering till way later. Just recorded that on Camtasia, and you all got a sneak peek. So, you don't have to wait 2 weeks to hear the Lego My Ego review now, and you haven't even heard Star of Christmas yet. Yeah, for those that don't know, and I hate self-promotion, but sometimes it can be helpful. Do I know how to have guests on live streams? No, but I'll tell you what, if we can figure that out, I could bring you on. If you know how, I personally don't, but I'm sure there are ways to invite people. Let me look that up real fast. I'll tell you all one thing I wanted to do, and I don't know if this is ever going to be a thing, so don't, over-comment it and try to get me to do it, because I can't guarantee anything. What I want to do, hey, Variety Channel, what I want to do is, one moment. Total number of podcast episodes that we are at, if you include current, upcoming, and recording episodes. Gosh, I think that gets to 56 episodes. I think the first 55. Okay, so the first 51 are released. 52, 53, and 54 are complete and on the back burner, ready to be released. And then 55 right now has been mostly recorded. I just need to do like the ending part and edit it, and then I'm good. And then 57, yeah, so 56 is still in production, but it's been recorded mostly. 57 will likely be recorded tomorrow, and I'll have Artsy Noli back on. Yeah, so by tomorrow it should be 57. Right now it's about 56. Good question, Variety Central. Yeah, let me look up how to invite people onto the thing. One thing I wanted to do was bring in a whole bunch of people to do like a live reading of Rack Shack and Benny and impressions. I think that'd be fun, Get SDA Storyteller on here and Animator 2000 and whoever can do impressions, Just come together and do something fun like that. Okay. Wow. Okay, I looked up how to invite guests because I'm, half asleep here. And it said, tell them that you request the honor of their presence. It's not what I'm trying to figure out. How to invite guests to a YouTube live stream. Let me see this. Okay, so March 18th, YouTube added that where you're able to add guests in there and go live. I'm looking to figure out how to pull that up. Does anyone know how to invite guests to a live stream? Because that would be pretty cool. Participants. Let me see. I'm sure there's a way. I just don't know it. Yeah, Animator, if you figure that out, just let me know. We can try to do that sometime. That'd be cool. You could use Discord. Yeah, I just don't know how to get them into the actual stream. You know, like I don't know how to actually let someone else in here. Anyway, I might as well go ahead and react to the VeggieTales podcast episode. Junior Boy, you were the first to comment, and you said you wanted to hear the one about. Oh gosh, not that again. You said you wanted to hear the one about forgiveness. So I'm probably not going to listen to the whole thing because I don't think I can suffer through that. But I'll start playing it here. And then watch NBC Universal grab me and copyright claim me for playing their stupid podcast. I won't call it a stupid podcast, but it is the recasted podcast where they fired everyone. I have my opinions on it. I try to keep them somewhat to myself, but just hearts out to Phil and Mike as always. I'm feeling for them. That I do get a little ticked off just thinking about what NBC Universal did. So here we go. Junior Boy, you said forgiveness, right? That's episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gosh, they've done 12 episodes of this podcast already. Oh boy. Okay. So we'll start playing that here. See if I can get this to work. I was trying to connect to the computer. I'll see if someone just put it up on YouTube because Spotify's trying to sync to the computer. Telling you what, maybe I'm just stupid, but it's kind of cool to pull up my own live stream on my phone. Maybe I'm just stupid, but it's kind of cool to love that. To pull up my own live stream on my... Okay, let me figure this out. I wonder if you look at VeggieTales podcast, I wonder if mine comes up first or if theirs comes up first. If the official one does. Nope, it's the official one. But mine's down the list. It's not that far down.
Larry the cucumber.
Gag. Junior Boy's been doing these great reaction videos if y'all haven't seen them yet. I think you've reacted to like every episode so far, right? Yeah, I know. One Big Bad dozen episodes for real. But yeah, Junior Boy's gone through and they've reviewed all 12 episodes so far, and yeah. VeggieTales podcast forgiveness. And see, like whenever I make an actual video, I can edit out all the lagging and setting up, but of course it doesn't work like that on a live stream. Let's see if this works now. Whoa, is that going through my headphones? Can you all hear this?
Oh, that was louder than I expected. As you just heard, Larry and I are joined by a bus full of our best friends.
Can you all hear the
We're
podcast?
taking today's podcast on the road.
If you all heard that introduction to the podcast, let me know. Y'all heard that? Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. This is... Oh, sheesh. Okay, this is the podcast episode 11. Yep, so Larry's being cringer than he actually is in the classic series.
Wow, that was louder than I expected. As
Hey,
you just
Christina
heard,
Rowe.
Larry and I are joined by a bus full of our best friends. We're
So for
taking
those just
today's
joining in, this is
podcast on
podcast
the road.
episode number 11, Forgiveness,
This bus really amplifies the
recasted.
noise, doesn't it? Hey, Jimmy and Jerry, would you like to tell our
So, as soon as
partners
Jimmy and Jerry
just
show
where
up and Bob
this
starts talking to them, you know they're going to have done
stage
something
coach
annoying.
to? I thought
And you know it's
said
going to be
we
an...
were on a bus.
What is that
Oh, you're
voice
right.
for Jerry,
I just thought
right?
stagecoach sounded more fun. Not a stagecoach. And so why don't you just tell us where this bus is headed? To Paw Grape's Dude Ranch.
See, like, what kid listening to this is going to know what a dude ranch is?
Excuse me,
Like,
Bob.
I had no clue what that was when I listened to it.
Ranch anyways.
And they
Dude
kind of
Ranch is a
explain it,
place
but...
where inexperienced city folk like us learn how to work on a real life ranch. That sounds exciting. So we pay money and we get to do all the work.
So when I first heard the VeggieTales podcast, I didn't think Jimmy's voice was that bad. I thought it was okay. They did a decent job on it, but as it goes along, Jimmy sounds less and less like Jimmy.
And miscellaneous chicken-related activities. I like
So unbiased, being completely unbiased, if I closed my eyes and just listened to this recasted Larry voice, I would not know that was someone trying to impersonate Larry. I would not know what it was. It would just sound like someone doing a completely different voice. And it's not a bad voice for a cartoon, but trying to mimic a voice that already exists. Oh, here we go.
I was meaning to talk to you about that.
Here we go.
My brother Jimmy and I had to make an inventory management decision.
Oh, boy.
Inventory management decision?
Okay, so it's like he was here and now he's here. They didn't even, slightly change it. They just completely did a full turnaround. Okay, so surprise, Jimmy and Jerry threw out all Bob's luggage. There's never been an episode before where Jimmy and Jerry do something annoying, but it's never happened, right? You can tell they're trying to be wacky here, right? They're trying to feel like classic VeggieTales. By putting, hey, but how's it going, Garrett? By putting stuff in here like this, they're trying to sound like classic VeggieTales, right? Like I'll mute it when I'm talking. By putting little things like that, like the horses tap dancing, they're trying to make people think of classic VeggieTales and the weirdness of that, but it's not, it's not computing. It's not working. It's so forced, it's just so forced.
Horses, you know what to do. From the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, so that's the type of music we get in the podcast nowadays. Either they, mock Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki by pulling in one of their songs they created, or they just have some like dance number like that, which has nothing to do with VeggieTales. Wait till we get to the barbecue toothpaste ad. That's just...
There it is. The second group is gonna gather the eggs from the chickens.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never really bought Petunia's voice. Like since the VeggieTales show, it hasn't. When I first heard it, it was okay, but the more I hear it, the less it sounds like Petunia. But it's okay. I don't mind it that much.
Let the chicken go to sleep to get to the other side. Wait, that's not right. The most effective method to put a chicken to sleep is by serenading. You mean like singing? Exactly.
Okay, so
You have to sing.
whoever is voicing Larry, I'll give them credit. They're getting the pitch somewhat right. Yeah, no, it really doesn't have the smart, silly kind of humor. It just has like goofy humor. I couldn't have put it better, John. So listening to this, listening to the guy voicing Larry, whoever it is, because they're not announcing it, you can tell they're getting. I mean, they've got the pitch somewhat right? Like they're doing it in the back of their throat, but anyone can talk in the back of their throat without sounding like Larry, right? Like it doesn't make you sound like Larry if you talk in the back of your throat. And the guy on here, he's getting the pitch somewhat. I'll say if he was a YouTuber doing a Larry impression, I would say he was doing decent. Okay, so what I said earlier, where you can't even tell he's impersonating Larry, you can tell he's trying to impersonate Larry. Okay, it's like these impressionists on YouTube. That's kind of what he sounds like. He sounds like someone doing a Larry impression, but it's I don't know. John, you talking to me or Junior Boy? Reviewing the podcast, because that would be fun. I'd love to collab and do some podcast reviews with y'all. But yeah, you can tell they're trying to do a Larry voice. They have a job to do. They got hired to do the voice. I'm not going to hate on them. Okay, I'm not going to hate on them, but I'm going to pause this. Not going to hate on them, but yeah, John, I've heard your impression of Larry, and it is better. There's a certain pitch, the person voicing him here is hitting it way too high and voice crack. They're hitting the voice crack too much, which that's my problem too when I do a Larry impression. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I'm not trying to pass myself as the official Larry the Cucumber voice. And like I said, Junior Boy, Angel Cat, I have no clue what you guys are doing. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I have no clue what they're doing with this podcast. Let's get back to it.
My hairbrush. It's working. They're falling asleep. Let's gather the eggs. My chickens aren't asleep yet. Keep singing.
So I'm going to say something positive about this podcast. In this scene where Bob is serenading the chickens by singing the hairbrush song, he kind of sounded like Bob. That doesn't really sound like something Bob would do, but the voice kind of sounded like Bob. So whoever is voicing Bob, I have a good feeling it's the guy who voiced the Emperor from Emperor of Envy. But I have a feeling that's him. It kind of sounded like Bob. I'll give him credit. But so when they do the kid caller, it really takes away the feel of VeggieTales. Like when they did that back in 2010, 2012, they would have the kids call in on QWERTY's screen, and it kind of took away the charm of VeggieTales, like getting a letter in from the kids, because those kids could have been real kids. They could have been vegetable kids, didn't have to be so specific. So kind of mixing VeggieTales in the real world by having an actual kid on the screen is just strange. And I think they realized that. They did Where's God When I'm Scared. They had the kid's voice read like, okay, for one, we don't really have enough people to read the letters. We're not going to go out and hire a kid for every episode to read the letter, and we can't have the same kid do it every time. And it does kind of take away from the feel of what the show is. So they stopped doing it after Where's God When I'm Scared. Under new management, yeah, I get what you're saying, John. It's not that bad. Under new management, they took it in a completely different direction, and they started putting the kids back up on the screen again. Doing the kids actually showing up and talking, which was strange. They stopped doing that by I want to say Little House That Stood. Maybe even before that, they stopped doing it. Penniless Princess might have been the one where they'd stopped. Yeah, I think Robin Good might have been the last one. Before they ended. Before they ended the kids showing up on the screen. But now they're doing that again with the podcast, which is just, to me, that really makes VeggieTales feel like a little kid show. That really reminds you when you're watching it that it is a small children's show. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and read the chat at the same time. But that really reminds you that it's marketed towards little kids whenever they start putting little kids, script little kids in here talking about problems, like having them write the letter, have Bob and Larry read it. That just works so much better. But that's just me. Maybe little kids watching VeggieTales love to see other kids in the show. I don't know. Then again, I'd say if the kids watching it really liked to see other kids in the show and there would have been a good reception on that, they probably would have kept doing that through the end of the classic series. But they stopped in 2012 and then did the rest until 2015 without that. And now they're back again because they don't care what people think. See, okay, so now Junior and Laura are the typical kids who play video games. Listen to that.
All right, you city veggies. We're gonna play a little game to
You
develop
what,
your
veggies?
hand-eye coordination. Video game.
So typical. The humor is so generic and typical now.
I love this game.
See, like half the time listening to this, I can't tell the difference between the characters that they're voicing. Like sometimes, yeah, I know I was so shocked too, Junior Boy. I never could have seen that coming. I mean, I say that sarcastically. I feel like it was pretty typical. But are they saying the real donkey didn't have a tail? I don't know. Nonetheless, like when I'm listening to this podcast, sometimes I can't tell the difference between the voices. Like listening to Jimmy Gordon, Mr. Lant, they just kind of blur together sometimes. Larry and Junior sort of blur together. You can tell it's a lot of the same people doing the same voices over and over, which is kind of frustrating, I know it really has taken away from a great show. I don't understand it. Junior and Laura wiped out Tomato Town. Probably not the first time either. Have you all seen that video? I think it went viral, but I don't remember. The Fortnite Chug Jug with Larry.
Spirit, there's only one catch. Here on Pod Greg's Dude Ranch, we pin the tail on an actual donkey.
Well, what a surprise. No one would have seen that coming. Yep, and now you have a giant donkey named Bertha. This is all just cool. This is not what Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki envisioned when they made this. And I'm not just hating on it because it's a recast. It's just this isn't what Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki were, dreaming of. They made something completely unique that stood apart from any other show out there. And not now. And that's typical and generic too. Laura's grossed out by the donkey food, and Junior thinks it's hilarious. It's just typical. They've taken these characters and they have just made them as typical as possible.
I think they could do something productive.
I think Jimmy and Jerry can just die. I mean, just leave the show. They can just be gone. We don't need them. Before they're recasted, I mean, I like the characters, but we probably could have done without them. Yeah, they were kind of good background characters, but making a whole episode focusing about them and having them recasted, too much.
First thing you have to do.
Of course. Yep. Here's the thing. I've already heard this before, obviously. Whenever I first listened to this podcast episode, I could literally predict what would happen next. Like I knew when they were going to go to the theme song, when they were going to go to the ad break, but not even just the formatted stuff. Like I could predict what was going to happen next in the plot. Like Jimmy and Jerry. I mean, it's not very impressive. I think anyone could. It's just such a predictable plot. Jimmy and Jerry running at the donkey. You know what I mean? Like we all knew that the donkey slop was going to go flying. It was going to land on Bob. we all knew something bad was going to happen to Bob at least, right? Like I think we all expected this.
Before you pin the tail on Bertha, you gotta first remove the bomb from. Stop eating enchiladas!
These are chimichangas.
Chimichangas?
See, was that Jimmy or Jerry talking just now?
Shimmy! Okay, Bob, I think it's a good time to cut the commercial.
Okay, the commercial. Here we go.
Peggy C, can I ask you a question about your wee little pilgrims?
Why, sure.
So what are all
Cleo.
these
I love talking
Peggy
about
Sue
my
characters in
kids.
VeggieTales now? They're having all these like old country people in VeggieTales. They had the old guys in the background working on the sound effects. You don't find the podcast predictable? Dang, all right. Well, opinions are opinions. But yeah, you have the guys in the background working on sound effects who, all talk like this. And then you got the cowboys talking on the ad about barbecue toothpaste. It's like every time they need to bring in a human character, which don't ask me why they're bringing in human characters to VeggieTales. Like there was that one podcast episode where they have humans working in the background. I think it was the detective episode. Which one was it? To Tell the Truth. Yeah, To Tell the Truth. They had humans working in studio with the veggies, which is just weird.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think my kids need.
I'm gonna skip the ad.
Mr. Lunt, like,
If you all really want to hear that, you can hear it on Spotify. Yeah, maybe they are poking fun at Southerners. I don't know. But see, that's what classic VeggieTales did. Classic VeggieTales poked fun. I don't think current VeggieTales is sophisticated enough to poke fun. I think, current VeggieTales doesn't even claim to be sophisticated. It really lost sophistication in VeggieTales in the House. Like starting with VeggieTales in the House, it wasn't what it used to be, obviously. And it's never really regained that. The VeggieTales show was pretty clever at times, especially. Sleep Singing was pretty great. This new podcast, I don't think there's been a single thing this new podcast I've listened to so far that I've thought was clever. Like VeggieTales always was here above other kids shows, but now it's just kind of sunk. It just sort of sunk down, and now it's just with everything else. Yeah, I liked Motato too. Motato was funny.
hold on, Francis. Let me tell her.
The Mr. Lunt animal translations are getting a little old. If you think the Mr. Lunt animal translation of this podcast are getting old, comment in the chat and let me know.
I was just translating for Francis the Bull. He's
I will say the Mr. Lunt impression is getting bad. Like when they first were doing the Mr. Lunt impression in the trailer, it sounded like Jimmy talking. Jimmy talking with a, Italian, Hispanic accent or whatever. I guess that's what they say Mr. Lunt's accent is. If you've heard the Jonah commentary. They've got better at their Mr. Lunt impression. Their Jimmy impressions sort of declined. The Bob impressions, it's decent. Larry impressions stayed about the same. If anything, I think Larry might be getting further and further away from how he's supposed to sound. What? Angel Cat said, it's just that I don't want to die inside of you because there's acid and I don't like dying in it, to Junior Boy. Am I missing something? Okay, anyway, back to the show.
Cheryl, do you think you might just be lashing out in anger towards this? She says yes.
You made a VeggieTales podcast video? I'll check that out. A role play, okay.
Right on top of Francis's body.
I'll check that out. Variety or Fairy Tale Hero, sorry.
Mad that
You all have similar
annoyed.
similar pictures on there. So. Yeah, Mr. Lunt animal things. Those are getting a little old. About you hating it, yeah. I think more people have a like-minded idea of podcast. Now I will say, Variety talked earlier, and you said that you didn't mind the recap, which I think is actually, I think it's pretty cool to hear someone doesn't mind it. That's different for sure. Do you think if we wrote animated did our own VeggieTales episodes, do you think that'd be fun or not really? Obviously, the concept art, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'd love that. I think that'd be great. If we start trying to make money on it, Universal's going to take it down. But I think if we made a fan-made episode and put it on YouTube, I think that'd be a fun collab. I think a lot of people are already doing that, but this little, the people in the chat right now, we could all come together and do something like that.
Kind of sorry. Our bad. Also, you were kind of dismissive about our mini fridge. Dismissive? And you
Okay, see, so these plots make Jimmy and Jerry so unlikable, and it doesn't really work either because they supposedly write their apology to Bob, but they go take all the suitcases out of the car. Right? They take all the suitcases out of the car, throw all the stuff away, dump, donkey food all over him. the donkey slop pan or whatever. Yeah, it did ruin the best episodes. But yeah, they dump the donkey food all over him. He gets attacked by chickens, and then Jimmy and Jerry are like, yeah, whatever, our bad. And then they go eat enchiladas and leave. And then they go to Bob and they want an apology from Bob, and then they give Bob a letter like minutes later, or like I think they write the letter before they even apologize to him, before they ask him to apologize to them. So this episode just makes Jimmy and Jerry unlikable, and they're likable characters generally, but in this new podcast they're just not.
Oh, I see. Arguments happen, don't they? Sometimes we just get angry with someone for something.
Who is this guy who is talking on the pod? Sometimes we just get angry with people for something. Like, could they have had someone? I'm not gonna, I'm not always super high energy. Just depends on how much energy I have. But you'd think if they're gonna bring on a guest on the podcast, I think they call him Postman Pat or something. You'd think if they're gonna bring a guest on this podcast, they'd pick someone a little more high energy. I don't understand these guests they bring on. The guests that it's like they need to have a guest in every episode. Obviously, they can't book a Christian artist for every episode. So they just come up with people, like they had an astronaut in there. And I was like, oh, wait, did they get an actual astronaut to this podcast? And I looked it up. Yeah, Are You My Neighbor, Jimmy and Jerry? Me too. I looked up the astronaut's name, and it was just like a parody. But all they did was like switch the first and last letters of his name or something just to make a parody of this astronaut character. It's very misleading. And then they have Postman Pat in this, which I guess is some sort of parody of Postman Pete, if anyone even knows what that is. Blue Dad Animation knows what that is.
Fudge all over your head. Please forgive us, Jimmy and Jerry Gord.
Please
That was
forgive
so
us,
nice.
Jimmy and Jerry
It
Gord.
really was. I maybe sorta might have been harboring a little grudge toward them because of how hard my day
I hate
was.
episodes where one character does something dumb, and then the other character gets mad at them, and then they make the character that gets mad at them apologize to the character who did something annoying. Yeah, but then Grace of Wrath takes the last part of the episode.
He looks super angry. He's so angry he's red. Oh, it's always red. Oh, it's a tomato. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy and Jerry.
Hey, Bob, we're all out of pizza.
Okay, so,
if you want to choke something, might I
so
suggest a ding dong?
now Jimmy and Jerry being Bob apologize to them. I think we could probably skip the last part of the episode because nothing else really eventful happened, so we're done with that. Yeah, that's my reaction to the forgiveness episode of the Veggie Podcast. Yeah, they ruined Larry Boy. Yeah, I know they've ruined everything in this podcast. So that feels like it could have been an episode had it been with Phil and Mike's voice. I will say that does kind of sound like a VeggieTales show episode, but at the same time, it is missing that charm that Phil and Mike would have added to it. Something a little bit less typical and a little bit more silly. Like they're really marketing these towards a young audience. It's very obvious they're marketing towards the audience. Junior Boy, you rant in every reaction. I can't blame you. I can't blame you at all. It's pretty rough. I don't know how well that reaction's gonna turn out. I'll check this chat out. So I'm getting some messages. Yep. Okay. So we have episode 57 will be recorded tomorrow. Artsy Noli just got back with me. If you know who that is, I'll show you their channel. They do the the VeggieTales Money Don't Jiggle Jiggle animation. They did the Castaways animation. Here, I'll pull this up. See if I can find their channel. Okay, so if y'all don't know what their channel is, I'll see if I'll play this here. See if this works. I'm sure I will. Y'all can see that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work, but you can hear it anyway. That's Artsy Noli's VeggieTales animations. Maybe you're more familiar with this one if I can find it. 1 minute. That's an ad.
We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy.
Yeah, so Artsy Noli does VeggieTales animations. I think they have a handful so far. They've got Castaways, Larry Teaching Bob TikTok trends. They have the Encanto with the French piece. I can't play too much because YouTube they'll get the rhythm in here and claim it, and they'll run ads every 8 minutes in this live stream, which will get annoying if y'all want to rewatch it later. So yeah, they've got maybe 4 VeggieTales animations on their channel, but the 4 they have are really unique and they really stand out. So that's pretty nice. So I'll be talking to them tomorrow. They were actually in a group discussion. I did a great group discussion with Larry Borg Fanatic, Artsy Noelle. I keep saying Noelle, it's Noli. Ghostbuster Jeffrey and Mr. Animation Armando Hobson, who did the VeggieTales and Kanto animation, not the one that Artsy Noelle did, but a different one with the actual song, not a voice impression of it. So yeah, they have a good group discussion episode coming out. Recorded that last night on Friday, just to give a little sneak peek, just a little behind the scenes, I guess, of how this works. I record like 6 episodes in 2 days, and then release those episodes over 2 weeks. And once I'm out of episodes, that's when I record the new ones. Like the one that premiered tonight, if you all were on the premiere with Kev Messick, great guy. Kev Messick, amazing. But yeah, episode 51, if you all were on that premiere. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat while I'm talking. But if you all joined that was recorded last Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So that was not last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, so 2 weeks ago. And it just released today because these are just, backlogged. It's not really backlogged. It's more like I stash them up and then put them back. 6 episodes in 3 days. So Friday, yesterday, I recorded episode 52 and 53. 53 is over 2 hours, so be prepared. The group discussions always go long. VeggieTales Collector, you know how that goes. You've been on group discussions that go for a long time. John Bostic, you've been on them too. Junior Boy, you as well. So, yeah, that one's over 2 hours. Episode 54, 55, and 56, I think were all filmed today. And then tomorrow I'll film 57. And those will all come out over the next ones. Yeah, I'm just reading up over the chat. Fairy Tale Hero, I'd love if I could. I don't know if you have to commission art on your channel, but I'd love to see a picture of your of my VeggieTales OC illustrated by you. I hate to keep bugging Ravenclaw Nimbus. He's such a great guy, and he always helps me make renders whenever I ask him. But I don't want to bug him, Let me look this up. Fairy Tale Hero, I want to see your channel. I'm not very familiar with it. In fact, I can probably just go to your channel from here in the chat. I didn't know you had an OC Fairy Tale Hero. That's pretty cool. So check out your channel. Let's see if there's a way I can get on here. Maybe I'll just check on my phone rather than trying to open Windows on the computer once I start. I'll tell you what, I did the Lego My Ego review. I did the podcast reaction, and that was pretty painful. I mean, if you all have any questions, I can answer questions. Favorite Bob moments? Wow, you were ahead. Gosh, I mean, anytime Bob gets angry, it's always the best, like in the What We Learned song where he's like, just kind of rolling his eyes and kind of mocking them. Let me see. What was I looking at? Fairy Tale Hero. Here you are. Yeah, man, you've got a cool channel. Yeah, the VeggieTales podcast review, top 10 episodes, illustrations, movie reviews. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know what? I feel like I have seen your channel now because I feel like I listened to your movie review for Larry Boy and the Fib. And I feel like I left a comment on it. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, maybe I did see your channel. You've got good stuff on there, man. Favorite Bob moments, like I said, anytime Bob gets angry. Yeah, Junior Boy, I'd love that. Sometime whenever the new podcast comes out, me and you could react to it together. We could just get on the Zoom meeting and play it. Maybe share screen or something and do it like that. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so you said favorite Bob moments. Yeah, Lord of the Beans, countertop scenes, those are classic. Larry on his unicycle. Good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do now. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna edit videos, get the podcast set up. And if you all have any questions, just go ahead and ask. Like I forgot I can edit videos. Wait, there we go. I can do it here. Future VeggieTales and Cantor drawings prefer Mr. Lunt or Bob as Felix. I feel like they both work really well. Now that you drew Mr. Lunt as Felix, it kind of grew on me. I think either one would be cool. Do I play sports? No, not really. I did when I was younger, but not currently. I do like workouts and stuff, but not like any actual sports. Oh, VeggieTales Collector. I read that wrong. I thought you were like, gotta go, Waterflowers. Sometimes it's even funnier when you read stuff wrong. Yeah, I'd like to listen to that Fairy Tale Hero. I'll definitely check that out. I saw the thumbnail had Minnesota Cuke on it. Frank and Celery, Bruno, or Mr. Beat? I think Frank and Celery works. I thought Mr. Beat maybe because Mirabelle kind of helps him, you know what I mean? Like Mirabelle sort of comes in and talks to him and gets him more comfortable and kind of puts him back in the family, you know? And that's kind of the plot of Beauty and the Beast, too, where Mirabelle from VeggieTales kind of gets Mr. Beat, you know, integrated back into the flow of things, less grumpy. So I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's see. You know, typically I post about events like this, but I think I forgot tonight. Mr. Beast. Yes, we do need Mr. Beast to buy VeggieTales. That'd be great. Mr. Beast would be like, I just bought the VeggieTales franchise and a private island to open a new big idea. And all the letters would be coming up on the screen. He'd be like, it cost me $15 million. And you hear the cash sound effect in the background. Okay, I'll tell you all what. No one pestered me about this. I'm telling you the truth. I live 10 minutes from Mr. Beast. Just let that sit. But I'm not saying anything else. Believe me or don't, but that's the truth. A friend of mine is his neighbor. He's working on some animation on here. Y'all probably saw the Perfect Puffy animation. Junior Boy, I'm telling you the truth. That's 100% true. Believe it or don't. If you have a way to disprove it, though, go ahead. And I'm not giving addresses. I'm not giving, hey, Sonic Animations, how's it going? I'm not giving addresses. I'm not giving any anything like that because that would make me an awful person. But I will say this: person I know lives next to someone who owns a house on either side of him, right? Goes up to the door, talks to the person, and he's like, hold on a second, you're Mr. Beast. And the guy's like, yeah. And then he just kind of goes inside, you know, like he doesn't want people to know where he lives, obviously. And this is like 10 minutes from where I live, you know, 10 minutes from studio, maybe 15 minutes from my house. So y'all probably think I'm full of it. Oh, Animator, thank you so much. John, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, those animations take a while. The 4 stages of it. Actually, I have a progression reel that I'll Jason. Yeah, I got a progression reel that I'll put out at some point. Yeah, so I'll just sit here and edit videos, and as questions come through, I'll just start chatting. No, Jason, don't retract your messages. Let it all flow. See, there's this YouTube user. If y'all have seen him comment, it's just Jason. Just Jason. There's no last name, no nothing. And I'm guessing this guy's a big VeggieTales fan because he joins these premieres, so pretty cool. I don't know if he has anything on his channel or not, but I know he's always around on here. Cool cap, thank you. Stole it from Callaway. The voice of Goliath, yes, I did hear that. It actually sounded really good. You titled it like the new voice of Goliath or my Goliath impression or something. That was really good. Did you pitch shift that, man? Because that sounded super, super good. What inconvenience, Angel Cat? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're fine. Voice changer, yeah, that's helpful. Secret golfer, no, actually I'm not. It's just that's my brother's name, so I got the hat because Callaway, you know. He who should not be named. Let me see if I can find that progression reel that I made. It's kind of tough to show videos on the screen. I wish there was a way to just like, you know, record the screen and show it. And I give you chocolate roses. No, don't eat my chocolate roses. No one touch the chocolate roses. So VeggieTale's social media is kind of strange. We talked about this in the group discussion Friday. They use the same. See, like you can barely read it. Like you can barely see that. Maybe if I turn my screen light down. But they just reuse the same renders, which is very strange to me. I don't understand that. You know, you'd think they would at least make some new renders. Yeah, there we go. But they just reuse these same renders over and over and over again. You know, oh no, Junior Boy, how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, but they just use those renders, the same ones from like the 2000s and late 90s, just, you know, on repeat, which is kind of odd, you know, but obviously that's when Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki were involved, things were different. You get new renders, or they at least had like a large variety of renders, and they would kind of cycle them through, so it never looked like they were just reusing the same stuff over and over. But the picture for the VeggieTales podcast, the picture of Larry is the same picture, and if you all saw the thumbnail to this live stream, I kind of highlighted that. It's the exact same picture used in the 2000 tape of Larry's favorite stories. So literally this like 1999, 2000 render of Larry is being used for this 2022 recasted podcast. I don't understand why they keep using the same renders. It just goes to show what happens when you get rid of the people who are, you know, made the show what it is. Let's see if I can pull up that progression reel, and I'll give you all a little sneak peek. I can't play too much music here because, like I said, YouTube will they'll knock me on that. So this won't be releasing for a little while, but when I make these animations, wait, hang on 1 minute. Do I think Mystic Mitha works as Dolores? Yeah, I think so. I think so because Dolores always has like the eye twitch. Yeah, I think that works pretty perfectly actually. So if you all can see if this will show or not, I don't know. Give it a moment. Maybe darken the screen a little bit more and it could work. Okay, so you all can kind of see it, just not very well. This is the process of one of my animations. It takes 4 different stages to complete an animation. So you've got just the shape and the movement in the first one. In the second one, you've got like faces and mouths moving. In the third one, I just do like a basic color key of just the characters, you know. I don't color the mouths or the pupils yet. And then in the last one, I add the backgrounds in and color the pupils and mouths, and you know. So that's the 4 stages. And I'll actually publish that video, you know, at higher quality with music and stuff. Yeah, the VeggieTales Show DVD covers, I didn't understand those. I don't understand why they didn't market the VeggieTales Show as the VeggieTales Show. I mean, I get it because they didn't want people to look at it like a reboot. They wanted people to associate it with the classic series, so I do understand that. But, you know. Like, I guess, you know, VeggieTales in the House, people associated VeggieTales in the House as a separate thing. They didn't like it. That was a big fuss. And so they said, okay, since we're making another reboot, another spin-off, if you can call it that, even though I'm not sure if it is technically a spin-off, they decided to kind of go a different route with the marketing and not market it as a spin-off, but market it as the original series. And I know a lot of people were annoyed by the fact they did that. I personally get it. I didn't mind. You know, it was a little frustrating to me at times, you know, like seeing them market a new show as the original series, you know, because I guess it was kind of its own thing. But I get it, you know, to make people to make people watch it, to make people buy it. They had to associate it with what people liked. In the middle of nowhere, I got you, man. I got you. Glad you're on here though. Keep up the good work. I don't know how to say your name on here. I've never figured out how to pronounce that. You're the guy with the dark crow image. But you said you make jewelry, and I think that's pretty awesome. VeggieTales jewelry and stuff. Where do I get most of my VeggieTales stuff? You know, that's actually a good question. Macari, eBay. Like whenever I want to get something like super distinct, super specific, Macari or eBay. Like if I'm looking for a specific tape or stuffed animal, and I kind of want to get it now, that's where I got the earrings and the coffee mug and all that. But most often I just go thrift shopping locally, or even just around the states. I have people who live in other states, you know, family members and stuff, who help look around and find stuff for me. You know, grandparents and people out of state, kind of thrift shop around and keep an eye out. You know, when people drive out of state, they keep an eye out. But I shop locally and I find quite a lot of stuff doing that. Favorite cake flavor? Chocolate. Am I going to play VeggieTales EXE Chapter 2? I don't know how to get that downloaded. It's probably pretty self-explanatory, but I'll get it figured out. If you want people on live stream, you need to allow YouTube to access your PC sound, then you have the person on a call on Discord, FaceTime, or Zoom. Okay, let me figure out if I can do that. Animator, do you know how to actually do that though? Like going from the stream page? I'll show you all what I'm seeing on the stream page. I'll take a picture and hold the phone up so you all can see it, because I'm not seeing any spot where I can do that. Let me see. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing any spot where I can let people in. I'm just getting the chat on the side and then the information, the options for streaming or webcam or manage on the side. This is webcam. I'm not really sure how to let people in. But I'll tell you what, that's something I'll research. And like I said, I do want to do another live stream at some point and have like a live reading of an episode. I think that'd be pretty cool. What Bible story? Let's see. What would be one Bible story like VeggieTales to cover one day? Adam and Eve. I mean, how have they never covered Adam and Eve? I'm glad you asked that, John. That's a great question. I don't know how they've never done an episode about that. I know Mr. Neba and Abe Benson and the guys over at the Veggie Fan Tape Box are gonna put together an episode, but random funny cat videos, you can't see it. Yeah, but I know the guys over on the Veggie Fan Tape Box are putting together some fan-made episodes, and I know that Apple and Eve is going to be one of them. You know, rather than Adam and Eve, it's Apple and Eve. But I would like VeggieTales Official to actually make an Adam and Eve episode. I'm shocked that they haven't yet. You know, like What's in the Bible covered that, obviously, and that's pretty similar to VeggieTales. But the actual VeggieTales series has not covered it, which is, you know, I just find that odd. Like in the VeggieTales show, they could have done it, and that's not a terribly hard episode to cover. You know, like I'm thinking over the story of Adam and Eve. I don't think there's anything in there that they couldn't have tweaked to make it appropriate. You know, like some stories in the Bible they just haven't covered because they're just hard to cover. You know, it's kind of hard to cover in a VeggieTales episode. But Adam and Eve, I think that would have been a relatively easy one to cover, and I think it would have made for a great, you know, full show or just a short segment. You know, maybe if it, you know, didn't have enough of a story to it to make a full show, they could have just done a short segment in the VeggieTales show. They had options. You know, they could have put it in a silly song. I mean, I guess they don't want to do a Bible story in a silly song, but they could have had like a song sketch telling the story. I'm just shocked they never covered that one. You know, kind of strange to me. No, I don't think VeggieTales make Jesus a vegetable. I think that would be against everything the series stands for, and I don't think they'll go that far. I mean, they've gone pretty far by firing the people who actually created it, but I have a hard time seeing them make Jesus a vegetable, because I feel like, you know, having recasted the characters is not something that Christians who watch VeggieTales are going to find inherently offensive, but making Jesus as a vegetable, rather it's classic VeggieTales or recast, people are just going to think that's offensive, you know. So I don't think they're ever going to do that. At least I sure as heck hope not. If I got to write a silly song with Larry, what would it be? I want to make the Drive-Thru Girl silly song, the cheeseburger, but it was supposed to be Drive-Thru Girl. I want to actually turn that into something. What odds? I like to write Tornado Hunters and, you know, make my own hypothesis of what that would have been like. Yeah, I know, huge weeds popping up all over the garden. Do I play video games? No, I do not. A lot of people have asked me that. I've actually never done it. I'm more into actually creating stuff, you know. Video games are fun. I've played apps and Angry Birds and stuff like that before. They are fun, but I'm more interested in creating content, and for me that feels more productive. Like if I'm going to sit on the screen all day, or even for really any period of time, I want to feel like I'm putting something out there that will hopefully stay out there. Good predictions in your Larry Boy in the Fifth Minute Space. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I feel like I saw your review, Fairy Tale Hero, for that a long time ago, but I don't remember it. Yeah, VeggieTales Collector, that'd be cool. I'm not sure if we're actually going to make a fan-made episode or not, but if we do, we'll definitely get you in on that. I like just making little animations of the episodes, I got you, Junior Boy. No, that's just never been me. I've never been interested in it. What type of games do you play, Junior Boy? I'm pulling a Big Idea Wiki, by the way. I got on there today, and I was surprised that no one had, listed the VeggieTales documentary as a thing. Like, no one had put an article about that on the wiki, which I found very strange. And I put an article on the wiki, but it's got, like, no information on it, Someone edited it, thank goodness, and they put the date when it's coming out, but I just posted, the VeggieTales documentary is an upcoming TBN exclusive feature that will air on August 19th, 2022. And then someone else came in and they put it in upcoming material, and they put the little box with the information. But yeah, I find that strange that no one had noted that until I got on there today. Yeah, mobile games, PC games. Yeah, mobile games. I've played apps before, just not very often. Temple Run's always fun, VeggieTales Collector. Yeah, we could do a live stream sometime, and you could voice Junior. I want everyone to voice like one character if I do that. And I wasn't sure who could voice Junior, so I think you'd be good at that. And you do a great Larry voice too, but I want to make sure everyone has like one voice or something. I'd be Larry or Lunt, one or the other, or Paul Grape or something. I don't know. Just depends on which episode we do. Which of your videos is most popular? That really wouldn't be my opinion. That would just be however many people have seen it. So I'm not sure. Just depends on however many people have seen the video would determine what your most popular one is. But if y'all haven't seen Fairy Tale Hero's channel, he's got some good VeggieTales content on there, and it's worth checking out for sure. Yeah, VeggieTales Collector, I'd love to hear your Junior impression sometimes. I don't think I've heard it, but I bet you do great at that. Yeah, John, I know what you're saying. I thought about that too when they put out the best Christmas gift and they had the P as Baby Jesus, but that was supposed to be a play on the stage. And Phil Vischer wrote the episode. He was obviously okay with it, But I feel like that's a totally different thing. They didn't have like an actual Jesus vegetable, or they didn't have like Baby Jesus as an actual vegetable in an actual show. They just had him on a stage. So I feel like that's kind of different. Because it's a stage production, right? It's like when you see like in Sesame Street, they actually did a stage production of the nativity scene, which is kind of shocking. And they had the little baby Natasha. I think they had baby Natasha as Baby Jesus. And I think having like, a baby as Baby Jesus in a stage play, I don't think people generally find that offensive. So I think they were okay with doing that. Do I think a male voice actor can voice Junior? I think VeggieTales Collector could. I mean, I kind of can. Like some people can. Most people seem to just, like when they're recasting Junior over and over again, they seem to get female voice actors. But I think the person who's voicing him now is a guy. I don't really know for sure. He just sounds a lot like the guy who's voicing Larry. So, yeah, I think if you can get to that pitch in your voice, I think anyone can voice Junior if they can get there. But that takes a lot of effort. Favorite VeggieTales side character? Dad Asparagus, hands down. Scooter's great too, but I think Dad Asparagus takes the cake on that one. Yeah, I gotta send something to Antigua Dario. I don't know if he's seen this yet. He's always looking for like VeggieTales live on stage footage. And 321 Blender found the finale clip, which is amazing. I'm scrolling to see. Oh yeah, he already saw it. Yep, he already saw it. I knew he'd like that. If y'all don't follow 21 Blender, it's 321 Blender's second channel. Yeah, Dad Asparagus, he does indeed. He does stay on top. I thought about making my OC like Dad Asparagus, but I went with Larry. My original idea for my OC was actually Prince Alexander from The Pirates Don't Do Anything, but I figured that'd be kind of tough to model with the hair and stuff. And, you know, Larry's my favorite, so I just went with him. Yeah, you could definitely do that, Junior Boy. He's pretty good at impressions. Actually, he's very good at impressions. Looking at this VeggieTales Live on Stage finale clip, if you all have seen this, and I'm actually going to send it over the chat right now so you all can see it. It's already got quite a few views, but I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen it. 321 Blender posted this in the second channel, and it's pretty significant. It's a pretty cool piece at Lost Media. The VeggieTales Live costumes I always found strange. You know, the way they slide, but they're really cool and they're really well done. Like, I mean, I can't think of any better way they could have put VeggieTales in a live costume, so it's very impressive. You know, I certainly couldn't have done it better, so they did amazing. Can I do a blender of your VeggieTales OC character? I know someone who might be able to help. I don't want to keep asking them for stuff. I'm still waiting for them to make something else, but maybe I could ask them sometime. I'm not great with Blender. I've used it once or twice for modeling, but I'm not great at it. Yeah, I'm not great at it. Angel Cat, you don't need to apologize. Role playing was awesome. It's good stuff. Wild Strawberry. I know I just keep talking about random things now because I've kind of talked about all the things I plan to talk about. But if you all have seen this channel, I'm going to send that over the chat too, give them a little promotion. The new VeggieTales YouTube channel, and it's actually pretty great. A lot of VeggieTales memes and edits and stuff, and they've already got a bunch of videos. They post like every day or something. Yeah, I'm looking at here. They post like every day. I don't think they ever miss a day. So it's not from what I've seen anyway. I see new stuff every time. They've got like 7 YTP edits. They've got 4 compilation edits. They've got some good stuff on here. Definitely check it out. Any future interviews? Yes, I've actually got, and since you must be just joining on, because I think John and Junior Boy and some of the guys, you know, Angel Cat, some of the people have been on here from the beginning already know this. But Inspiration Animations is coming on. Variety Central, they're coming on. Did a little Sweet Pea Beauty debate with John Bostic today. That's going to be like a segment within an episode. And then I did a big group discussion. Artsy Noli, he's coming on tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of interviews coming out. In fact, I think I'll check right now to make sure, but I think I updated my podcast friends section. Yep, I add them in there. So the new guests coming up are Artsy Noli, Inspiration Animations, and Variety Central. We've got other people coming up too. Do reviews with VeggieTales channels? No, I could do that. I don't have anything negative to say about any of the fandom members because everyone's amazing. So if I did a review on the VeggieTales channel, it'd all be positive stuff. One reason I haven't really reviewed other people's videos is because, you know, when making a review, I kind of like to go on, you know, here's what's good about it, here's what's bad about it. But all the fandom members are just doing such a great job. There's nothing bad about their channels to talk about. But I could probably just do like one big compilation of all the, you know, just reviewing a bunch of different VeggieTales fan channels and talk about the things they do that I really like. You know, maybe my favorite videos that they have up and talk about what we'd like to see more of. Top 10 most underrated VeggieTales episodes. Yeah, you know what? That really should be done. Animator, I collabed with John Bostic and Junior Board to do top 10 best and worst episodes. I think underrated episodes would be a fun one, so we should plan for that. Yeah, that was very funny, Angel Cat. I was just getting like the last part of it, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Yeah, I'll tell you one thing we talk about too. See, I'll go ahead and I'll leak one of the titles of these episodes coming out. The one is John Bostic episode is called "The Sweet Pea Debate with John Bostic" plus "Fair Use or Fairly Useless" and "Lego My Ego." So that's the episode. Entertainment's underrated. I mean, it had some meme potential. It had great meme potential. I will say that. But that's, you know, aside from that, you know, not maybe not my favorite episode they've done. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite. See, my eyes just glanced over something that said shout out, and now I can't find where it says that. I think someone was asking for a shout out. Oh, maybe I read that wrong. Yeah, VeggieTales Collector, you did some impressions in the show. They all sounded really good. Esther, yeah, Esther's underrated. I think fans are pretty split on Esther. I think you've got this side who say it's the best thing ever, and this side who say it's the worst thing ever. And I've seen very few people in the middle who say it's okay. Like Esther's one of those episodes you either love it or you hate it. There's no in the middle. For me, I love it. I think it's one of the best episodes they made. I think it's dramatic. I think the music's great. The animation's phenomenal. It's heart-wrenching. So for me, Esther's one of the best. But I know a lot of people are on the other side of that. They say it's no good, but no, I think it's great. But different opinions. That's what makes the world go round. And if you don't like Esther, I respect that. But it's one of my favorites personally. Rack Shack and Benny is overrated. I mean, it does get a lot of credit, but I feel like it's earned credit. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like Rack Shack and Benny kind of, it was just really wacky. It's kind of defining VeggieTales. What vegetable or fruit would I prefer to see in the show? Like maybe a character that hasn't been in it yet. If you mean like a character who was in it in the past and hasn't come back, I really want to see the peach come back, or Dad Asparagus. I think they should get like an actual banana character in there, except for a top banana. That'd be kind of cool. Avocado. Well, they had an avocado in the city, and I guess they had a banana in Bad Apple. So there really aren't very many characters they haven't done. They even had the coconut singers in the Palmy episode. So yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I'll tell you all something strange. Now I was just thinking about this. It's kind of some weird VeggieTales fan theory, sort of disturbing. So hold on to your hats. But in Larry's Lagoon, in the second segment of God Just May Forgive Them, you all probably know what that is. They launch the coconut. They draw Bob's face in the coconut, and they launch it, hit Bob in the head, knock him off the house. Later on in the show, am I breaking up? Can you all hear me now? John said the audio is breaking up. If you can hear me now, then comment below and let me know if it's going smoothly. Am I still breaking up? Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know. Come on. You can hear me? You can hear me? Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So what I was saying in episode 2, God Just May Forgive Them, they launch the coconut. They draw a face on it, launch it. Then later on in the episode when Palmy shows up, they have, he has the coconut singers attached to him. So it's like when the coconut falls off the palm tree, it dies. So the coconut that they drew Bob's face on and then launched into the air was a dead body vegetable, right? Like when you think about that, isn't that kind of strange? The coconuts are on Palmy, right? They're attached to his leaves and they're singing. The coconut they launched to the air is one they find laying on the ground and they draw a face on. Isn't that kind of disturbing when you think about it? I guess you're not supposed to think about that, but is it still cracking? Is it still cracking, guys? Let me know if you just heard my terrifying VeggieTales fan theory or if it just cracked over the whole thing. Okay. John, it might be your speaker doing that because I don't think anyone else is hearing that. I appreciate you telling me though. Yeah, it could be your computer mic. Yeah, but that's just something I was thinking about. I've got a whole list of VeggieTales fan theories, but most of them are kind of weird and dark. Because I guess that's what a fan theory is. What's the fun in a fan theory that's not weird and dark, right? I mean, there's no fun in that. I'll tell you one thing I want to do sometime. Like, when you see my channel, you see a lot of reaction videos to like like the VeggieTales podcast or animation errors or just like, things that I'm kind of teasing at and making fun at. I think a reaction video to something great like Jonah would be fun. Only problem is Jonah's a movie, so it's very copyright protected. With showing clips and stuff. I mean, it might be about the same as the rest of the series, but I remember it being a little trickier. And 2, doing a reaction video to something that's good. VeggieTales Collector. Yeah, doing a reaction video to something that is good is a little strange. You know what I mean? VeggieTales Collector, you're saying it is that my voice is breaking up, or it is a strange theory. Okay, good. Awesome. But yeah, doing a reaction video to something that, like a positive reaction video is kind of boring. So that's why I kind of go with the podcast or whatever. Because reacting to the podcast, you can kind of make fun of it or just like sit there disappointed. But reacting to Jonah the entire time, the whole thing's great, So all I'm going to do is say, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing" the entire time. So I don't like to. I'm a positive person. Don't like to go negative. But if I'm going to do a reaction video or a review to something, then I want to go with one of their recasted episodes and kind of make fun of that, And I'm not making fun of the voice actors who are doing the voices, I just really more corporate, Little Dogs in the Prairie. Yes, we talked about that in the group discussion a few weeks ago. I think that one premiered a couple days ago. I love that one. Oh dang, Nantika's live right now too. Not to promote myself away from him, but I'm about to not to promote you all away from this channel to go to Nintega's, but I'm going to wrap this up in just a few. So make sure you check his live stream out. He's always got good stuff. In fact, I'm gonna comment on there right now. See, I'm on a live stream commenting on someone else's live stream. What a strange world this is. Yeah, if y'all get a chance to check this out, definitely check it out. He's doing it's not VeggieTales related, but it's still cool. He does a lot of really, really neat stuff on there. I don't think not enough people realize this. Nintega's channel, it is not just VeggieTales content. He's got so much stuff there. He's got his own content, his own characters, his own songs and parodies and stuff. A lot of Chuck E. Cheese and Pac-Man and Mario, all that good stuff. People really know him for VeggieTales, but he does a lot more than that. So there's a lot more stuff to check out on there than VeggieTales. Would a dragon fruit be like a character or take a thirst? I would imagine if they had a dragon fruit in there, knowing VeggieTales, if this was classic VeggieTales, and it was actually, with people who cared about it, I would imagine them making a dragon fruit an actual dragon. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but it's so obvious that if they didn't do it, it would be oblivious. You know what I mean? It's one of those jokes that's very obvious, but you really just got to do it because it's good. It's a good type of obvious. So yeah, I think if they put a dragon fruit in there, it would probably be an actual dragon. VeggieTales and Kanto Mirabelle is Mirabelle. Oh, I didn't know there was a different spelling in there. Yeah, I think that works for sure. I think that works. The hair works. The glasses look good. I love when people roleplay VeggieTales characters as pop culture characters. I think that's cool. Like Slice and Sand on 3-2-1 Blender. If you all have seen that, that's one of my favorites. I love that one. Well, like I said before, I'm just going to sit on here and, maybe 10, 15 more minutes, respond to some messages and just kind of goof off. And if you all have any questions, let me know. I'll keep an eye on the chat. This is basically a podcast episode. I should probably put this on Spotify. It's just talking, like a podcast bonus. For those of you who haven't seen the perfect puppy animation, I'll actually show that here. You can't see it very well, so if I show you here, I would still recommend, watching it on YouTube, but here it is straight off the app that I made it on. You all can see that. See, I'm missing the button. There we go. So for those of you who haven't seen that, I put this one out today. You're hoping to get part 1 of the reaction to the interview of myself. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Junior Boy, if you all haven't heard, he reacted to the VeggieTales podcast. And obviously when the VeggieTales podcast doesn't have any new content, he's wanting to react to something else. And so Junior Boy is going to be reacting to some episodes of my podcast, which is going to be pretty cool. I guess just kind of have fun with that, And Junior Boy, feel free. Go crazy, okay? Don't hold back. Don't hold back. You're not going to offend me. Just go completely crazy. Have fun with it. I'm trying to pull something up to show you guys. Yeah, man, but definitely just go nuts. Oh, you are a VeggieTales collector? I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, I got you, Junior Boy. I know what you mean. I don't like to brag. I feel like if I can keep my podcast better than the official VeggieTales podcast, I don't feel like that's really tough, Like if Phil Fisher and Mike Rocky were doing a podcast together with Mr. Lunt and Larry or Bob and Larry or something, I would say, you know what, I'd just make this as a separate. But as long as people keep telling me that my podcast is better from the recast, keep going. Once my podcast goes downhill, people like the VeggieTales recast better than this, I should probably wrap up. You know what I mean? Here's something else I did the other day. At this point, I'm just talking. I just felt like doing a live stream night, and I'm just talking with nothing in particular to talk about. Mr. Beast is vegetable. Mr. Vegemite did that. He did Larry Beast. In fact, if you haven't seen that, I want to send that. Yeah, John, you might want to check your mic. Mr. Vegify. I want to find that video and send it to you guys. Mr. Vegify's got good content. It's always fun stuff. Yeah, but Mr. Vegify did a Larry Beast animation, and it looked really good. His animations are very smooth, like they're very smooth. The movement's different than the characters, but it's still very smooth. Yeah, there it is. For those who haven't seen it, VeggieTales character is definitely Larry. Dead Asparagus, Bob Jr. Those are all close behind. Archibald. Larry's definitely number one. Then probably Mr. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. I'm out of water. I had a whole jug of water. Variety Central, if you're still on here, when we did the show today, I just had a jug of water next to me, and I was just drinking out of it, staying hydrated. But here's something else I've been working on with these characters. If you all are on my Discord server, you've probably seen these little characters I created. But I've been doing animations with them as well, which is kind of fun. Just little tests like this. Just kind of seeing how smooth I can get the animation to look. I'll let you all watch it from the beginning. But just kind of trying to make it fluent, trying to use some of my own characters. So hopefully that'll be profitable. Copyright my own stuff, and then that'd be kind of nice. Fan art's fun, but I can't copyright. I can't make money off of fan art. So I thought, you know what? I'm loving doing the VeggieTales stuff. I have other stuff too. Have Goliath as a Terminator. That'd be cool. No, I don't have a server junior, but I have just a Discord account. I'm part of people's servers, but I don't actually have my own. If I make one, though, you'll be the first to know. Oh, good. VeggieTale Collector. I look forward to seeing that. Sorry if I'm missing anyone's questions. Like, I'm getting a lot of questions, surprisingly, for only 7 people being on here right now. I think it's gone up to like 12 or 13 at one point. But for the amount of people on here, I'm surprised by how much, which is pretty cool. For real this time, I'm going to work, and if y'all ask me questions or, just chat, then just, go for it. I'll keep an eye on that. Gordon Animations would put up the tea time thumbnail, which is pretty clever. See, if I had some upcoming content that I hadn't shared, I guess I would go ahead and show you guys that and give you a teaser, but I don't have much right now, if I'm being honest. Mostly just podcast episodes. Artsy Noli was amazing. He was so much fun to talk to. Y'all should keep an eye out for that one. I mean, everyone who I talked to is pretty great, but Artsy Noli was just, he was a lot of fun. I've never had a guest who I didn't enjoy talking to. You all are always amazing. And the podcast wouldn't exist without the guests, so. I remember when I first made the podcast, Ultimate Unofficial. That was when I stopped uploading clips from the VeggieTales show because A, I didn't have permission to do it, and B, they were all getting blocked anyway. So it's funny because I'd reached out to Universal saying, "Can I have permission?" They said no. I said okay. I took the videos down. I put them private, and even though they were private, like a month later, they all got claimed and blocked. So even if I went ahead and left them up, which wouldn't have been honest anyway, they would have all been blocked, But Universal, people fuss at them for blocking stuff on YouTube. I am going to say I don't approve what they're doing with VeggieTales. I don't know who's in charge of VeggieTales right now and who's messing with it. But I'm going to give them credit. I'm going to say they are very, very lax with copyright on YouTube. And y'all are probably going to say, what? Like, huh? No way. That's insane. But they're pretty lax with copyright. They legit are. Like, they block full episodes. They block some clips. every now and then, you know, they'll glitch and they'll block something kind of short that probably doesn't need to be blocked. But in general, I just think Universal's pretty lax with VeggieTales copyright. Less so with the VeggieTales show, but at least with the classic series, I'm very grateful to them that they let people upload what they upload and they allow fan artists to make fan art, because I think fan art's fair use when you make it nonprofit. Still, I think if Universal wanted to go and attack people for making fan art, they could probably get away with it, even if it is fair use. So I'm grateful they don't. I like that John Bostic, Miss Lewis as Abuela Alma. Is Miss Lewis Grandma Gord's official name? I think it's just Grandma Gord. Oh, animator, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like trying to bring in different people to the podcast together and kind of, you know, make different people friends who might not have known each other before. I appreciate you saying that. Makes it feel worthwhile for sure. You know, because sometimes I'm doing this and I'm like, well, I can't even make money off of this, so why am I dedicating so much time? And I'm like, well, because I enjoy it, because people watching it enjoy it. So, you know, got to just keep doing it. I am royally destroying this image that I'm trying to draw. See, like when you draw a character and you draw their body and then you scoot the screen to draw their head, the size proportion ends up being terrible. So here's the picture I just drew. Really messed it up. I was trying to draw like the tail, and then I was trying to draw the face, and they ended up making it look like that, which is just very disproportioned. I'll just have to, luckily flip a clip for all of y'all who use flip a clip. I know Angel Cat, you do a lot of stuff with flip a clip, and it always looks great. VeggieTales Collector, I know you've just started, and that looks amazing already. I don't know how you're making it look so good that fast, but you are. Favorite Yippee VeggieTales show songs? Maybe the Shakespearean songs, the Humble Song, and then Three Sandwiches. I mean, I know those didn't come out very long ago, but I do kind of feel nostalgic for them already, which maybe is weird, but I just do. Maybe that, doesn't make any sense to be nostalgic about that already, but I kind of am. I am destroying this image. I'm just going to start over. Scratch that from the record. Madame Blueberry as Peppa Madrigal. I think that's cool. I like that. Oh, that's cool, Fairy Tale. But hey, put me in there. I'd love to be part of that. Next time I go live, I'm gonna need a reason to go live, and not just live. But this is fun. I'm enjoying this. You know what? It's getting late. I've been going for an hour and a half. You could watch this like a feature film. I'm probably gonna wrap this up in just a few. Y'all jump over to Natiga's live stream. He's got good stuff going on there. His veggie cart streams are always my favorite, but I love when he does other stuff too. Great guy. Yeah, I like that, Angel Cat. I like that a lot. Doing like, maybe you mean like pitch shifting or something, the voices whenever people talk. I think that'd be cool. Angel Cat, you're really creative. You got a lot of great ideas. Appreciate that. There you go. Oh, I like that Fairy Tale Hero. That's cool. I like that. I use the Christmas Spectacular as my background in a lot of podcasts. So, yeah, I think once I get on my phone and I start making animations, it's probably about time to wrap this up. I'll tell you what. I'll give a little sneak peek to something that's coming up before we wrap this up. VeggieTales Collector, you know about this. Me and you are kind of collabing to make a project. It's gonna be like a full timeline of VeggieTales merch, plush, play sets, stuffed animals, DVDs, VHS. And I won't give too much information about it now. I haven't decided if that will be a podcast episode or a video, so I can show the images. Haven't decided yet. Podcasts will probably take less time. Maybe do both. I mean, less time isn't always the way to go. Sometimes you just gotta put the dedication into it. VeggieTales Collector most certainly is putting the dedication into it. They've been sending me, just one moment. Let me swipe out of that. They've been sending me pictures of the play sets. I'm not even gonna try to show you on my phone again. It's too bright. But they've been sending pictures of stuffed animals, play sets, DVDs, VHS. Very, very helpful, VeggieTales collector. You're awesome to do that. So we're gonna collab and make that something eventually. All right, and I'm probably gonna wrap this up. I don't know what time zone you all are in. You're uploading the video nice tomorrow or Monday. Go for tomorrow, Junior Boy. We want to see it ASAP. Yeah, but it's 10:30 where I am. I'm probably gonna go ahead and get this one wrapped up and get ready for bed. Surprisingly, no conventions from siblings this time. July is over, so I'm scot free. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, I've got some new videos out. Check out stuff on Finncorporated with the ducks and all that. And then on this channel, I got the perfect puppy and some other stuff. So, yes, you definitely do, Angel Cat. Love your channel. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Always nice to do a live stream and get a lot of people on here. By the end of it, I can always see how many people join. Yes, absolutely. See you later, Fairy Tale Hero. We should talk in the sometime. That'd be fun. But yeah, lots of upcoming podcast episodes. Keep an eye out for those over the next 2 weeks. And at the time I'll make another batch. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.